Hej, dzisiaj mam dla Was trochę inny filmik niż normalnie, bo po pierwsze jest wyjątkowy gość, po drugie inna tematyka niż to, co normalnie znajduje się u mnie na kanale, ale bardzo mi się to podoba, ponieważ dzisiaj mam dla Was wywiad z fińską autorką trylogii, które są inspirowane bajką Śnieżką. I powiem Wam, że dostałam te książki i przeczytałam w 2 dni, czy 3 dni, 3 książki, więc na jeden dzień jedna książka. Tak to szybko wchodzi, bardzo fajna powieść i naprawdę ogólnie bardzo polecam jej książki, które wyglądają o tak. Więc Salla była w Warszawie i ogólnie w 3 miastach w Polsce ze względu na promocję właśnie swojej nowej książki, która jest to jest Czarna jak heban i to jest jej najnowsza książka. I właśnie miałam okazję się z nią spotkać i zadać jej kilka pytań, które właściwie przyszły mi do głowy, jak czytałam książkę, na temat jej jako osoby i też właściwie jej książek i powieści i też innych rzeczy, które kiedyś pisała. Więc tak naprawdę, jeśli nie jesteście zainteresowani książkami, ale chcecie poznać Sallę, bo jest kompletnie inna niż w ogóle wydawałaby się. A naprawdę byłam bardzo pozytywnie zaskoczona Sallą, super się z nią rozmawiało i to jest osoba, z którą chętnie bym się jeszcze raz spotkała, żeby tak po prostu pogadać. Więc jeśli jesteście albo książkami zainteresowani, albo samą Sallą, jaka ona jest, to możecie oglądać ten filmik do końca.
Hello, my name is Sallä Simukkę, I'm from Finland. I'm the author of the Snow White trilogy, books called As Red as Blood, As White as Snow and As Black as Ebony. All 3 books have now come out also here in Poland. And the books are coming out in nearly 50 countries now. And it's lovely to be here in Poland in front of this beautiful rainbow.
Can you first tell me, how did your whole adventure with writing actually start? How did it come to the point that you're so young and your books were translated to so many languages?
Well, actually, I was 9 years old when I really started to think that I want to be a writer when I grow up. So it has been my childhood dream. And then I started writing, and I wrote different kinds of stories, short stories, and then I began writing a lot of great novels, but never got to the end of those. But then when I was 18, I took part in a competition for novels for young readers, and then actually my first book came out that way. It took 3 years from the first version to the actual book, so I was 21 when my first book came out. So even though you might think that I'm young now, I have written books for 13 years now actually, and altogether 13 books. But none of my previous books have been translated to any other languages, so they have only come out in Finland in Finnish. But so now the Snow White trilogy is sold to nearly 50 languages, and it's really crazy because that's something I could never have dreamed of.
That's really amazing that this is a passion that you have since you were a child.
Yes, it really is.
It's amazing that you kept up with it. So dreams do come true, and you're a perfect example of that actually, because you're so young and you're an internationally famous author now. So do you realize how much you actually inspire your readers as a person?
Well, of course you can't really get it in a real way, because even though I know that people come to me and say that okay, I look up to you and you are an inspiration, but when I'm me, I'm just me. Because I'm just a normal person in that way. But of course it's great if I can also inspire other people to read, to write, to develop their skills and to chase their dreams. So of course it's wonderful if that happens.
Amazing. So when I read your books, I was really curious actually how much of the things that actually happened in the book and the people and the stories, was anything of it actually real that happened to you or inspired by real people?
Well, the books are of course fictional, and of course and they are thrillers, and I don't know any young girls who have gone through the things that the main character, 17-year-old Dominika Andersson, is going through, and that's a good thing because she also she has to go through some really hard times and really dangerous things. But well, in the first book, it's happening in Tampere. That's the second largest city in Finland, and I also live in Tampere, and I have also grown up in Tampere, so it's my hometown. And also the school that Lumikki goes to is an actual school in Tampere, and I have also gone to that school. So there are like these little things that are of course from the real life, but all the characters, all the plots, all the twists that are happening, they are fictional. They come just from my own mind.
That's good, I think.
Yeah.
Considering the story.
Yeah, considering the story and considering everything that's going on there, so it's a good thing.
And how did it happen that you mixed actually a fairy tale, Snow White, with a real life situation which is actually quite brutal? Where did the idea come from?
Well, actually, I first got the idea of the titles of the books. I thought that I'd love to try to write a crime novel for young adults, because I had previously written different types of books for young readers, realistic books and about relationships and families and that sort of things. And I thought that it would be interesting to try to write a crime novel, and instantly I thought that As Red as Blood would be like a perfect title. And then of course I knew that if I'm going to have As Red as Blood, I will have to have As White as Snow and As Black as Ebony. So the titles came first, and of course then I wanted to have the fairy tale to place like some part in the story, but I also knew that I didn't want to do a retelling of the fairy tale. I didn't want to write a fantasy book or something like that. I wanted to write a thriller, but to have like these little associations, little hints from the fairy tales. And I also think that when you really think about it, fairy tales are, in a way, also thrillers. If you think about Snow White, she's a young girl and her stepmother wants to murder her and she has to run for her life. So what's that if not a thriller? So they are not actually that far from each other when you think about it.
It's true. And also a very, I think, personal question, because I noticed that in your books you give a hint of the red lipstick and typical Snow White look. And then I look at your pictures and I see that you are kind of doing the red lipstick look all the time. So is it also kind of an inspiration for your books?
Well, I think that right now, because I am also promoting the books and I'm talking about these Snow White books, I think it's also good to like be one with the books you are talking about. It's sort of like a game, also a play. Even though, well, this is not a role, this is like the real me, but also it's a way of also promoting the books and playing with the colors, the red and the white and the black.
To the main character?
Well, in some ways and in some ways not, because Lumikki Andersson, she's really different from what I was when I was 17. I was very social. I had a lot of friends and a happy life also. And so she is a lonely wolf. She doesn't want to be around many people and she likes her solitude. But also there is a part of me that also enjoys the solitude, also enjoys being alone. So in that way I can also relate to her. But she's like, I don't know how I could describe her, what she means to me. She's like, even though I know she's purely fictional, in a way she feels like an actual person. Like, yeah, she feels real for me. And it has been a great journey to do the 3 books with her. And I think that I'm doing those with her, like she's an actual person in a way.
So your trilogy was a huge success. Do you know what is the key to it being such a success?
Well, I can't say that when I was writing the books that I had known it. Of course, I didn't know that this would happen. But of course, now afterwards, I can see like some elements that might have had something to do with the success. Of course, the fact that there is the Snow White fairy tale that is known all over the world, and I think there is something new in combining the fairy tale and the crime novel. And of course Scandinavian crime novels are a big hit around the world also, but there are not so many actually for young adults. There are the ones who are for adult readers. So though these might have something to do with the success. So the time was right, the books were right for the time, and then just something happened. And it's also so that when something starts to grow bigger, it usually develops quite quickly, and then after the rights have been sold to 20 countries, then it's 30 and then it's 40. So it spreads and yeah.
And are you planning on writing next books in addition to this trilogy?
Actually, right now I'm writing something completely different. I'm writing for children, or at least for a bit younger readers. The main character is 11 years old. So for now I have said goodbye to Dominika Andersson, but I think that I have not closed the door forever. So if I get a really good idea for the next story for her, then why not? But I don't want to write a next book about Dominika Andersson just because it would be a clever thing to do to write the next book. Because we all know that what happens when you have a great television series or a great book series, and then there is the sequel that's not so good, and then you're like,
it's just better to wait for the right moment.
You shouldn't have written this. So,
And are you hoping that your previous books are going to be translated into
that too actually. I have the 2 previous books before Snow White trilogy. They are like a duology, you could say, and so I think that those might also be interesting for readers in other countries than in Finland. They are actually set in a near future, so they are a bit different sort of books, but I think that they might also...
Because I would definitely read them after reading this trilogy, so I'm really hoping they're going to be translated.